So, just in case you missed it, yesterday we got hotfix 32.2.4 and like most hotfixes, it did a bunch of stuff, but two things in it really stand out. The first one has to do with the Perigale sniper rifle, more specifically the Gale Force buff that you would previously get when you would land consecutive headshots. This buff, just in case you don't know, gives you infinite ammunition for 4 seconds. And it's basically required to keep the weapon operational as it doesn't carry around a lot of ammo, so you're gonna be out in no time if you don't have this buff most of the time. The main issue here was that the weapon was simply too strong to actually get this buff. It's a burst sniper rifle that fires 4 rounds per burst, but most enemies die to the first round, making consecutive headshots almost impossible to land. And no consecutive headshots means no buff means no ammo, and no ammo means that weapon is pretty much useless in most situations. And they just straight up fixed it. They made it so that if you kill an enemy with a headshot, you get the Gale Force buff. However, this is the really good part, they kept the old condition for triggering this buff as well, so now it doesn't matter if the enemy is squishy and you one-shot them, or they're a beefcake and they can tank headshot after headshot after headshot. You can just keep the buff up at all times, as long as you're a good enough shot to consistently hit headshots. This makes the Perigale one of the best sniper rifles, if not the best sniper rifle, in the entire game. It is an incredible change. Plus it also means that you don't have to worry about the 3-second reload at all, as you're not going to be reloading it all that often, so you can just run a full damage setup and go absolutely ham with it. Very good. The second big change has to do with Voruna's ultimate ability, Ulfrun's Descent. The main issue here was that it was lacking a little bit in the damage department, so they buffed it. Quite a bit actually. They added a 20% crit chance with a 1.5 times crit multiplier, and every kill with it increases your crit chance by 5% and your crit damage by 50%, and it's now affected by the crit damage buff from Shroud of the Gnar. This is still a bit fiddly though, because Ulfrun's Descent does not break the invisibility you get from Shroud of the Gnar, so you can't get the buff with it, but if you get the buff with a normal melee weapon first and then you go into Ulfrun's Descent, you can benefit from the massive crit damage bonus you get from it. Now, while the damage is better, it's still not crazy. If you have a min-max melee weapon, it's of course gonna perform better, but it is definitely stronger than it was before. So yeah, this definitely makes Ulfrun's Descent a lot more viable, especially if you build for it with like high efficiency and strength. And it makes me very happy because it's a fun ability, I like using it, and I felt kind of bad for subsuming Warcry over it. So yeah, these are two really big buffs that you definitely shouldn't sleep on, especially the Perigale one. The Perigale one is just huge. So jump into the game and give them a whirl. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.